All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Billboard Live. I'm Kevin Kenny, and we are joined by a very special guest today. Starley is here, fresh off the Good Morning America stage, and you're going to play us two songs today.
Yes.
A cover of Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, and then the international smash hit. It's been streamed 250 million times, Calling Me.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks
so I
so
will-
much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by. So I'll give the stage to you, and without further ado, Starley.
All right, cool. Yay, thank you.
Thank you, brother. All right. And you're going to hang out and take a couple questions too, Starley. Is that right?
Cool, yeah.
Right on.
Sure.
That's a loud chair. Well, sorry, in addition to the music we just heard, and I love your music. I love that song, Calling Me. It's so infectious. It's a great song. I love your backstory even more because I think a lot of people, they probably hear the song, they hear that amazing voice, and they think, this girl must have just been on the fast track to superstardom from day one. But that's actually not the case. You were a songwriter in London, and then it wasn't that long ago. You were just going to give this whole thing up.
Yeah, so I moved to London when I was probably like 20. Just dreamed of being an artist in the beginning. Went there, fell into the studio, and just ended up being a songwriter. So I thought, okay, well, this must be my calling. I'll just write for other people. And I felt more comfortable that way as well because I had a lot of people try and change me growing up, try to get me to straighten my hair or lose weight or be just something that I wasn't. So I kind of felt good about being behind the scenes, and I think it made me feel comfortable. And I think it doesn't always work out that way when you really have a calling and when you're born to do something. I do believe in a higher power, and I believe that God just made sure that I wasn't going to be comfortable being a writer, and I didn't have much success. And I came home to Australia after 5 years in the UK, just broke and kind of like about to quit. And I wrote this song in my kind of like despair, really. And so then I decided that I would basically go for this thing and be an artist and give it one last shot. And if it didn't work, I was going to be a personal trainer. So.
Oh my gosh, can you
Yeah.
imagine? Well,
Yeah.
that is some Monday motivation from Starley right there.
Yeah.
But I find that incredible. You actually wrote this song that I just said has been streamed 250 million times. It's already platinum in Australia. It's number 70 last week on the Billboard Hot 100. You wrote this at your parents' house.
Yeah, in my parents' house, in my bedroom that I grew up in. So.
That's incredible.
Yeah, pretty insane.
So I also think it's so cool of you to admit that there was times along this journey where you did lose belief in yourself, maybe momentarily. I'm curious though, is there somebody in your life, somebody special that never lost belief in you, that kind of encouraged you through this hard time you went through?
Yeah, I say my parents, my mum and dad, really, they wanted me to be a singer from day one. When I said I was going to be just a songwriter, they didn't like it. They were like, you need to sing your own songs. You've got a beautiful voice. And, you kind of just think your parents sometimes are just your parents and they always just love you for whatever you do. But, I did lose faith after a while, and they couldn't be happier now seeing me doing my own music. I think like it makes them so proud. So
well, we got to talk about this mom of yours because I heard you say that she named you Starley because she knew you were going to be a singer.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, my mom is she's super intuitive, and when I was born, she said she knew I was going to be a singer, so she gave me a stage name. And none of the other kids in my family can sing, and they don't have stage names. Like I'm the only one. So. Yeah, so she's pretty cool.
That's incredible. So you go back to your parents' house, you write Calling Me. Yeah. When is Ryan Ryback and that remix come into the picture?
So I wrote Call on Me and I sent it out to a bunch of people that I knew, DJs and whoever I knew in the industry to see if they wanted to give it a shot. And one friend of mine in New Zealand, he gave it a shot. His name's P Money, and he did a production for the song and I loved it. I played it in my car and I cried my eyes out and I was like, this is special. I love it. And we got these other guys, Odd Mob, to feature on it. So to kind of do a co-production thing. So that sounded good. I got myself, in between that, I got myself an indie deal in Australia with a dance label. And because they always do remixes and stuff with dance labels, they basically called in a whole bunch of remixes and was like, Starley, who do you like? I picked the 5 versions that I liked, having no idea that Ryan's version would really blow up in the way it did. And so I didn't know Ryan in real life. We basically just met.
Now, I hope?
Yeah. Now we're cool. Now
imagine,
we're like family. But before then, I'd never met him. And so when we put out this remix package on Spotify, it just went bananas. It was crazy. And then I met Ryan, and it was insane. So.
That's crazy. Do you have a favorite version of the song? I know you released the softer version first, but what's your relationship to both versions of Calling Me?
Well, yeah, the original version was my baby, really, because it took me a while to even get the vocal to a certain place that it was, and I'm really hands-on. So it was a bit at first, I was kind of like, it's my
like
baby, and then the remix coming out and that being the one that blows up and knowing that was going to go to radio, at first I was kind of a little bit shocked. But now I see the reason, because I see my nieces that are like 2-3 years old dancing so hard when they hear the remix. As soon as the thing starts, they go crazy. So I get why it sounds so good to young people, and especially these little kids. And so that's actually my favorite version now.
Right on.
Yeah.
Ryan Ryback.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Something I just find so funny about all of this is that I've seen you say, or I've heard you say that you're not someone who particularly enjoys the limelight, you know, but as I said at the top of the show, you're fresh off the Good Morning America stage, which is like one of the biggest morning shows here in the States.
Yeah.
You're going to be on Jimmy Kimmel, who just hosted the Oscars last night. You're going to be in his show in April.
Yeah.
You're going to be back in New York in a couple weeks for the Today Show.
Yeah.
Like, this is the limelight. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So how are you, I'm just curious, how are you dealing with it personally as somebody who doesn't naturally take to that?
I'm getting there. I think every day is getting a little bit easier. I think it's just all new stuff. But I come from a big family. There's 5 kids in my family. And so everybody's always fighting for attention. So I do know how to switch it on if I need to. So luckily that's in there somewhere. And I'm just sort of slowly getting it to come out. So it's okay. Yeah.
You're doing a lot of exciting things. I know you just went to your first Grammy Awards a couple weeks ago. How was that?
I didn't go to the Grammy Awards. I went to some Grammy Award parties and stuff. This year I laid low because I'm working on my album and stuff, and I think it's super important to not really. I don't like being involved if I don't have any business there. Like if I've got nothing happening, let me just stay at home and like work on my songs. So yeah.
You talk about the album. I know the album is probably in its infancy. There's not like a release date or anything like that yet, but there is a single maybe on its way.
Yes, possibly. I can't give you a date, but yeah, we're working on a couple of ideas that could possibly be the single. So yeah.
Now, did the remix sort of like change your direction in terms of how you're recording music now? Did that sort of like tip you off to any new sounds you're gonna be working with?
I mean, I've always been into dance music, and that's why I signed to a dance label. But the remix helped me to understand that it's really cool to stick to a certain tempo all the way through, a certain vibe all the way through, because the original has dance elements in there, but it comes in later. Yeah. So it made me sort of realize, okay, I'm going to start it right from the top.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's kind of cool.
Right on. All right, so you got the album in the works, you got the single in the works, but maybe more immediately is March 31st. It's a big day for you. You're going to kick off tour with Zara Larson and Clean Bandits.
Yes, I'm super excited about that. 2 artists that I love, and I particularly love Rockabye Baby, which is from Clean Bandit, which is so amazing. It's killing it in Australia at the moment. And so, yeah, when I found out I'm going on tour with them, I was just so stoked. So, yeah.
So what can we expect from a Starley live show?
We're going to be, it's basically me and my 2 band members. They're like multi-instrumentalists, and you'll hear the records like you hear it on the radio. That's what it will sound like. That's what it will look like. I've got a bit of energy. I like to jump around on the stage and stuff. So, yeah, you'll see a bit of that for sure.
And then before we go, we get these big TV appearances coming up. March 10th, you're on the Today Show here in New York. Yeah. I think April 4th, you're going to be on Jimmy Kimmel out in LA. And then also in March, you're going to be down at South by Southwest.
Yes.
Have you ever been to that festival?
Never. All this stuff is like my first time for everything. The Good Morning America thing was my first ever live TV appearance in life. So, yeah, it's just full on.
How'd that go this morning, by the way? I meant to ask.
It was good. It was good because they had like a whole bunch of dancers there and people were there. And because it's such an upbeat song, it's nice to not have a bunch of people just being like this, you know. It was cool that everyone was sort of getting into it. So I loved it. It was fun.
That's awesome. And are tickets available for the tour? I meant to ask.
Yeah, Clean Bandit tickets. You can look it up. You'll see it online. Somewhere. Go and find it. Awesome. Someplace.
Well, I know you've had a crazy couple of days of travel, so we really appreciate you taking the time to play songs and chit chat. So
thank you,
Starley. And thank you guys for watching Billboard Live.